Hey everybody, it's me Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz. I got it on in the background right now. Correspond to the entire universe through resonance. Strengthen up your aura like Goku. Balance out psychologically and emotionally. Strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence. Get yourself a plant-based diet going today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are herbivores in nature. Balance out your physical body's pH level. Get with alkalinity and then generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. Now today I got an astrological read on the latest event or the latest ingress, which actually takes place today, which is May 29th, 2021, and it is the second retrograde of Mercury, the first taking place in Aquarius and the second taking place in Gemini, which is this one. So today's video is Mercury in retrograde. Get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Retrograde, if you do not know, is when the Earth basically passes up an outer planet, and that outer planet then seems to be in a state of backward motion. Like, basically, if you were on a highway and you were passing up a car on the side of you, the car would then look like it's in a backwards motion because you are basically passing it up. This is exactly what a retrograde is in astrology or cosmology or astronomy. It is when a outer planet is coming to a backward motion because the Earth is passing that planet in a certain way or a certain rate, and then it casts that illusion of the outer planet coming to a backwards momentum or motion. So basically that is what retrograde is, and whenever a planet goes through retrograde, it completely alters the entire energies that the planet brings in its normal momentum. So when the planet is appearing to be going in its normal momentum forward, when it comes to retrograde, it completely changes the entire energies that the planet brings. So basically it puts everything in reverse, and it sends all of the energies that that planet brings into a state of inverse instead of what it normally brings us. So Mercury is in retrograde right now, and Mercury is known actually to be the planet of communication. Okay, so when Mercury is in retrograde and it's actually in Gemini as well. If you haven't seen my video, Mercury in Gemini, check it out over here in the top right corner for me and drop a like. Mercury is in retrograde also in Gemini. So Mercury is the planet of communication throughout our solar system. It is highly mental in nature, being so close to the sun, and the sun is highly mental in nature. It is masculine, okay, and anything dwelling within masculine energy is exteriorized in nature, and it is also electrical, and it is very, very young, meaning it is active, it is dynamic, and it is very, very strong in nature. It is the opposite of restful. So Mercury, being the planet of communication, usually in its normal momentum or its normal motion, brings us a heightened or amplified and strengthened state or field or atmosphere of communication, transactions, learning, and even teaching, okay? And even it is even ruled, or it even brings a lot of technological informative accumulation or information accumulation. So Mercury also uses technology a lot to bring in that information to further communicate it out. Okay, so basically a normal Mercury would be ruled in this, or not ruled, but would be bringing in these types of ways or energies. So when it's in retrograde, when it's appearing to be in a backwards motion, it brings a whole lot of stagnation to these areas of communication, technology, learning, teaching, and even transactions and businesses and things like this. So during this time of Mercury retrograde, we are going to be getting a lot of misinformation. We are going to be highly miscommunicative, like the way I'm stuttering right now and kind of dropping it and botching it a little bit. It is all because Mercury in retrograde is having me a little imbalanced communicatively. It will bring your technology to falling and bringing it to a very glitchy state. It'll basically have you slower in your learning and a little less strengthened in your teaching. It'll basically have you a little imbalanced and a little stagnant. It'll have you basically falling to one side and not really taking it as fluently as it would be with a normal Mercury, okay? And basically what you need to know is that this is a time to not sign any contracts or even take part in any projects that will last more than a day, or big projects, you know, because there's a lot of miscommunication with the Mercury in retrograde, and a lot of mistransaction and a lot of stagnation in these areas. You don't want to go about taking on any contracts or signing any contracts, because there will be a lot of turmoil in the communication and the information that is basically in fluctuation throughout this time. So that is why, to avoid any contract signing throughout this time, and to also avoid any large projects, because it will have you unsteady and unstable and unbalanced in these areas of communication, like I said, and business, and these areas. So yeah, try to steer away from signing any contracts and taking up big projects and things like that, because it won't work out to its best. It's best to just wait and it usually lasts not too long, so it won't really be something to basically what is the word? It won't be something to basically cry about, you know? It's not gonna last too long, so just be patient. It's also in Gemini, so it's gonna be accompanied with a very chatty, sociable, and light-heartedness. It is going to be very dualistic in its nature, meaning it is going to be highly yang, but also highly yin in nature. You know, Gemini has that internalized nature as well as that exteriorized nature. So this basically means that there's going to be an internalizing state with all of this exteriorized mental energy or electrical energy, and then it will actually have you bringing in a wise state of learning for yourself, as Gemini is a very wise sign holding the knowledge and wisdom. Gemini is all about wisdom as well, so what you will learn during the Mercury in retrograde is to actually slow yourself down, like I should be doing now. This is why I keep stuttering so much and having a forgetful nature. But it's going to basically teach you to slow down due to all the miscommunication and the stagnation and the misinterpretation of the communication or the information that is in fluctuation. Okay? What it's teaching us is to slow down, basically to come to a state of slow, steady, and patient communication instead of just trying to go full 100 miles per hour, you know, full pace in this. Slow down and basically take it slow and be conscious of what you're trying to communicate out. This is how the energy is going to affect us individually and even collectively. Okay, and in slowing down your communication, you can basically bring in more consciousness, and you can take the teaching and the learning and the transactional energy more steadily, and then you can understand how to cultivate it and integrate a better way of communication for yourself. Okay, and it literally just all comes in full circle, and then it makes you better in all of these areas in which Mercury would bring down energetically and communicatively, bringing in a less widened spectrum of misinformation to more accurate informational communication. Okay, I thank you guys for watching. That was Mercury in retrograde. Subscribe right here. Click upon this video if you have not seen it yet and drop a like. Generate some static electricity from your ethereal body. It needs to be strengthened and realized for the collective rise in consciousness. I hope I clarified everything up for you. I hope you're in synchronization with the universe now. Stay safe. Have a peaceful day. I love you guys and enjoy your afternoon.